Unfortunately, I have a new and very active white supremacy group that I wanted to tell you about so you guys.
Go watch that video. Some very important information you should be aware of in there, which brings me to a point that I haven't really brought up in the past, but need to, generally because the videos get dumped before I can. But Southern Poverty Law Center keeps a group of, or keeps a list of hate groups. Go to the Southern Poverty Law Center and go look up those lists and familiarize yourself with it, so you know what those groups are, where they're at, and more about them, because they provide details. Sorry to get real close there, guys. I feel like we should be doing more about these groups. We should be really stopping them in their tracks. The fact that you can go form a group based on a racial belief or a racist belief, and you can continue to have that group and get members, collect dues, and go to clubs and stuff is really ridiculous. We should not allow it. A lot of other developed countries don't, but we do here. And somehow we just don't seem to make the link between people collecting firearms and joining groups like these and the things that are going to happen. We don't seem to make that association. Now, I would see if it was one of those things where it was like, oh, we let all groups do this. But it seems like if you're a person of color and you have a group that's against stuff, you get flagged pretty quickly, and they shut that down, don't they? And I know somebody's like, well, what about the Black Panthers? That was a little bit different. But yeah, you can do that. Why is the KKK still allowed to be a thing? Why? That should be shut down. If you're affiliated with that group, you should be arrested. Those groups need to be shut down. And I know they monitor them, but it's often the case that by the time the law enforcement steps in, it's too late. They've already done things that are bad. That's the thing. We allow it here. Whether you say, no, we don't, because when they do something that's extreme, then we do something, that's too far. When somebody has already been unalived because of that group, that's too late. When there was much more that could have been done. And these paramilitary groups that want to pose as troops that aren't, those need to be done away with too. That needs to be completely done. They're not exercising any freedoms. They're not doing anything productive. All they're doing is pushing an agenda. And generally they're fed by false information. That's the funny thing. And then if you look at like what happened with the Proud Boys, the people at the top know. They know these people are easy to manipulate. So, you got a lot of guys that have no life, that have no purpose. And that's partly a fault of the way economics is going. But they end up joining these groups that give them excuses for why their life is horrible and making them seem like, oh, it's not your fault. It's that guy over there. And that leads to really bad things. But these groups need to be stopped. Again, if you still haven't, go watch that video, please, and familiarize yourself with that group. And please educate yourself in the different groups around and know what signs to look for. Know what's around you, because once you see those things, you'll start noticing it's in your city. Even if you think you're in a blue city, it's there. The signs are there. They're just hidden from you because you haven't looked into it. So please educate yourselves, and hopefully this reaches some people that might be able to do something and prevent bad things from happening.